What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Cheap Sense, back once again. Let me stick this back on the shelf. All right, so this video is gonna be mainly because of what I was feeling on the inside. Now, I know there are possibly two people who may see this video and are gonna have an issue with it. That's a given. But for the most part, it is what it is with me. I don't really care what other people think or what they feel as far as negativity is concerned. I just feel like some fragrance reviewers are getting overlooked. Now, whether it's on purpose or people just have their personal view on what they like to watch and who they like to watch, that's fine. But I feel like these people that I'm going to mention with 3 honorable mentions are people who are overlooked and I feel sometimes could be underappreciated, and people don't give those reviewers their just due. Now, I'm not saying go out and kiss anybody's butt or just go subscribe to their channel. Go over, when I call off the names of these fragrance reviewers, check out their channels, just like you would do this one. If you like the content, subscribe to the channel. If not, I understand, it is what it is. So without further ado, the 3 honorable mentions that I have, and what makes these 3 specific reviewers honorable mentions is because I feel like once you hit a certain plateau, like the 1,000 or above 1,000, it kind of changes the dynamic between the reviewers a little bit. Now, we all do the same exact thing. We all review fragrances. It's just some of us find that niche earlier or faster than others. Some people are just gonna have it, and some people aren't gonna have it, and that's just the way it goes. Life is like that. Sometimes people gonna make it to the top, and some people aren't. So I feel like not everybody can be a boss. Everybody has a packing order. Now, you can come out of that packing order and make it to the top if you choose to do so, but some of us do this just because, and it's not really a necessity to be a reviewer and review fragrances. Most of this, for most people, is a hobby. We just do it in our free time just to have something to do sometimes. Plus, we love fragrances, so why not? But first honorable mention is Fragrance Journey 01. I like his content. He's not like everybody else who reviews the same old, and I fall into that category sometimes because I don't have a lot of fragrances that everybody else has. Sometimes I have something that people haven't seen or heard of before. A lot of fragrances came from other subscribers getting me into the world of niche and other fragrances, and I appreciate it. But this guy always has something new, something groundbreaking, something different, and I respect that totally. So check out Fragrance Journey 01. My next honorable mention is Matt over at Georgia Gent. And the reason why Matt is an honorable mention, like I said before, he has hit a certain plateau now. I think he's over the 1,000 subscriber threshold, which in my personal opinion does put you kind of in a different bracket, but he has great content also. He does have some fragrances that a lot of people may not know about or haven't smelled yet, and I can respect that also. So make sure you go find Georgia Gent. The last honorable mention is James over at Outlaw Frags. It used to be James and Russell, but they are no longer doing reviews together as far as I know. This is the information that was released to us, I think, through Facebook, saying that they weren't working together anymore. I don't know why. I have no clue, but I still support both of those guys, James and Russell. But it is now James from Outlaw Frags, and check out his channel also. He has great content. I saw a video a couple of days ago, and he has now like this dark biker type setting going on, and I kind of was digging at it a little bit, so check him out also. So with the honorable mentions out of the way, if somebody did not make this list and they felt like they should have made this list, I understand, because there have been lists made and I wasn't a part of, or a few of these other reviewers on here weren't a part of. And that's one of the reasons why I'm making this list, because I feel like some of us aren't getting our just due. We're getting left out, and I want to shed some light on some of these. And I just realized that I need to add 2 more. Alright, so with that being said, it was 10 and now it's 12. So let's get to it. First up, it's actually 13 with a surprise at the end. So first up is Scent Nation, my guy Mo. And excuse me, y'all, for some of these names. I may know the names of the fragrance channel, but I may not know the actual person's name. So just type in the name of the reviewer and it should pop up. Scent Nation, Mo. And Mo is actually an influencer for me. Excuse me, because when I first got into the fragrance game, I was watching Big Beard Business, and he was doing these challenges where it was like $20, $30, $40, $45, something like that, where he would go to TJ Maxx, Ross, whatever, and find inexpensive fragrances or whatever he could find within that price budget and review them. And I guess somewhere along the line, Mo's channel started popping up and he was doing the same thing. So I was more interested in that because I actually live right across the street from TJ Maxx. And Ross is literally like right up the street. And that was right up my alley. Inexpensive fragrances. I don't have to spend a lot. And I started doing in-store reviews. And if you go back and watch my older reviews, you will see I started out being kind of like whispery and trying to be secretive when I was reviewing or videotaping, because a lot of those stores don't like you recording in the store. And then after a while, my videos got a little bit better. I started going in the stores without a care in the world, start, filming or whatever. And Mo was, along with Big Beard Business, was one of the reasons why I started doing in-store reviews and a lot of cheapies. So check out Scent Nation, my guy Mo. Next up, and this is in no particular order, I'm just reading what I have on my list here. Next up is a real friend of mine, a true friend, my guy Trey over at Trey Scents. And me and Trey talk on the regular, and that is one guy besides maybe a few others like Sam Broom and Georgia Gent that I really consider a friend. But Trey is a little bit more closer and near and dear to me because I talk to him more than I talk to anybody else. There were other reviewers that I chit-chatted with, but I guess, time changes things, circumstances changes things, and not a lot of people reach out like they used to. So it is what it is. Me and Trey talk a lot, and Trey, I feel, is very underrated. He doesn't get involved in a lot of the hoopla that goes on. He's not in the limelight, not in the spotlight. He's one of those lower reviewers he's one of those reviewers with a lower sub count, I should say. And which I feel like he should be a little higher up than what he is. But slow and steady. He's cool with the growth that he is having, although it is a little slow. Um, he's enjoying it, and he loves reviews. He still is deep into the inexpensive fragrances. So if you like inexpensive fragrances, then check out Trey Scent. Check out his channel. Next up is Making Sense. And this guy is fairly new to me. I have been checking him out since he came onto the scene. I actually think I got a package from him. And hopefully this is the right name. Michael Dinsmore is his name, is his real name. But Making Sense is the channel, and he actually sent me some samples, and I have them here. So thank you for that. And I already smelled them, but I want to do it on camera again so I can let you know which one I like the most. So you can tell me what the heck they are, because he just numbered them and I don't know what they are. So that's what he did. But check out his channel. He has great content. He has a plethora, big word there, of different fragrances, not just inexpensive, but higher end stuff also. And I think he is a pretty good reviewer. So check him out. Next up is another one of my close friends. We don't talk as much as me and Trey do, but Sam Broom is another one. Guy has a lot of wisdom. He has a lot of fragrances that we don't know a lot about. He did send me and Trey a few samples of some stuff, and some of it was good, and some of it I really didn't care much for, like those strong oud type fragrances that smell animalic or like barnyardish, that stinky, stanky, skanky oud. But Sam is a good guy. We do talk off and on, and he has a pretty good channel also. Another one that has been in the game for a while, you may not know. He's related this to me on several occasions that he's off and on. He has family, he has work. So he'll do a little for a while, then he'll back off, and then he'll jump back in. But he's been in the game for a little while. Somebody else that is, I feel, underrated and not given the spotlight as he should be. But he's getting there, and he has my full support. The next one is Aussie Fragrance. I was a little bit skeptical at first about him because of, his Australian type accent. But his sense of humor, his sarcasm kind of won me over. And I like the thing at the end where he says, tell your mom he says hi. And he's pretty good dude. He reaches out from time to time. He does respond sometimes to my videos in the comment section, which is cool. I reach out to him also. We don't talk like everybody else does, but it's cool. He has a very good channel, and he is growing also. So check out Aussie Fragrance. Next up is one that I respect a lot. I don't think he also gets enough credit for what he does. He reviews a lot of fragrances that are kind of out there, like left field, a lot of niche, stuff like that. And his name is Ben from Centaur Fragrance. And the amount of knowledge that Ben seems to have, I don't think he gets his just due either. And none of these people have asked me to do this. They don't even know that I'm making this video. But this is just from what I feel on the inside. People that should be getting a little bit more recognition. But for the most part, Centaur Fragrance is a great channel. If you want to know about niche, indie type fragrances, stuff that you don't see or hear about on the regular. Check his channel out. Very informative. Next up is a newcomer. He's been in the game for a little while now. He's getting a lot of negative attention because of the fact that he has the resources to buy and give away and do these giveaways with all these fragrances, and people can't figure out how and why. And I don't know whether they just mad or jealous because they're not getting anything, but what difference does it make how or why he's doing it? They should just accept the fact that somebody's trying to do good in the fragrance community, and I respect it a lot. And it is Cali Gent. Check out his channel. He is a pretty good reviewer, still a little green under the gills, but for the most part, I like his channel. He's coming along just fine. I think he's doing great things in the community, and don't ever let anybody discourage you from doing what you're doing. Keep doing it. You're going to make it. Keep striving to the top. Next up is another guy. This is Cali Reviews. And this guy does a whole host of different things. He doesn't just do reviews on fragrances. He does comic books and other things also, which is cool. You need to check his channel out also. Doesn't really do a lot of high-end stuff. For the most part, it's a lot of cheapies and stuff like that, which is cool also. I have no issue with that. I started off doing cheapies, and I still have a bunch of cheapies in my collection. But Cali Reviews is another channel that you should give a try. This guy is not one of those like Cubanos, like all over the place and flamboyant. He's calm, mellow. He gets to the point. He knows what he's talking about. So give him a shot. Cali Reviews, y'all. Another fragrance house, or not fragrance house, reviewer, Titan Fragrances. When he first came on, I think I may have been one of the first few that actually reached out and showed some love and support. Now, I don't always do it all the time. I do watch a lot of videos. I may not always comment or make myself known, but I do watch a lot of lives, and I do watch a lot of reviews off and on. And Titan Fragrances is a great channel to watch also. This guy seems to have what we call it, and he's climbing the ranks pretty fast. I think so anyway. I don't try to keep track of what people's sub counts are, because that's, to me, not a big deal. I think if you put out great content, it just going to fall into place. So check out Titan Fragrances, another great channel. This one, this next review, I honestly don't really know much about, but I am subscribed to his channel, Devilish Scents. I honestly can't say much about this particular channel. I did watch one or two of the videos before I made this list, and I don't want to make an assumption ahead of time. I need to watch some more of his videos to get a better read on this guy. But he seems to know what he's talking about. He seems to have that love for fragrances, and so I put him on the list. Devilish Scents. Check him out also. The last two are two that I also feel are highly overlooked or doesn't get their just due. This one that this person I'm gonna review first. The last two, I think they came in maybe close to the same time. I could be off by a little bit, but both of these guys are pretty good guys. Civilized Redneck is the first one I want to talk about. This guy talks about the cheapies. He does have some higher end stuff, but for the most part, the cheapies are where it is. And he seems to have a love and a passion for what he does. And I feel it all inside when it comes to all of these guys. So check out Civilized Redneck. Last one, Motivated Living. This guy doesn't just do reviews on fragrances. He also talks about health, mental health, all kinds of stuff. Very relatable, I feel, to a lot of people, because there are people out there with mental health issues. There are people out there, you know, going through internal struggles and stuff like that. And this guy, he knows what he's talking about. I like watching some of his videos. Very inspirational at times. You should give him a try also. And I said there was a special one going on this list also towards the end. It is me, Mr. Cheap Sense, because I feel also sometimes I don't get my just due, especially not from my core subscribers, because I have subscribers who have been there since day one when I had 50, 60, 70 or less subs. And now I'm all the way up to just over 2,000. And some of these people are still hanging on and still supporting me. And I appreciate it greatly. But sometimes people make these lists and my name isn't on the list anywhere or as an honorable mention. And I feel like sometimes I don't get my just due. Now, I'm not sitting here boo-hoo crying and moaning and groaning about it. It just is what it is. And I felt like since everybody else is making their videos on reviewers that should get a little more attention, or the spotlight should be on, this is my list personally that I did. Like I said in the beginning, if you felt like you should have been on this list, now there are a lot of reviewers out there that I don't know about yet. They come flooding in almost every day. And a lot of them I may not know of. I may have subbed to some. I may have just saw a video and said, hey, I'm just showing my support or showing some love or whatever. So if I'm not a subscriber to your channel or I don't know anything about you, then I apologize for that. I can't be everywhere at once. So if you want me to check out your content, hit me up. Let me know, send me a link or whatever, and I'll check you out. But for the most part, that is my list. Check these guys out. Everybody on these lists may not have the most fancy cameras and the elaborate backgrounds and all this fancy editing and all this stuff, but we do all have a passion, a love for the fragrance game and the fragrance community without all the extra drama and BS that goes on behind the scenes. All of us, we love fragrances, and there's nothing else left to say. So thanks for watching. I'm out. Peace.